What's up, you guys? It's Steve here. We are live, and this is your stimulus check update as billions have been announced for new stimulus checks and provisions that will be coming in 2023. That is right. Now, I'm going to be covering all the details for you of excess surplus funds that are coming out. We're also going to be discussing how it is that Democratic lawmakers are not giving up on stimulus checks to go out to Americans on a federal level. But we're going to be discussing federal level and state level in this video. I'm going to be sharing with you some new ones that just came out from states just in recent days, and you're going to be shocked because these are some that we have not heard about in a while, and they're now saying they have so much excess funds, stimulus provisions, stimulus checks. One is calling for $2,000 to be arriving to citizens in 2023. I'm going to be covering all the details for you in this video. And as you guys know, these are all linked in the description below. I cite all the sources to get you caught up on the latest. And we are live right before I'm going to run out the door to church, you guys. So I'm going to make this quick because I might be late for church if I take too long. And I see everybody hopping on. How's it going, guys? I see Karen, Melissa, Ford for Life, Charlene, Mr. Cleveland. How's it going, you guys? Let me know if everything sounds good. Let me know if the picture looks okay. Before we head out here to church, I just want to give you this quick update on literally billions of funds that are currently available, and they're announcing more checks, more provisions, inflation relief, tax rebates, refunds coming in 2023 due to the economic environment that we're going to be going into, you guys. So yeah, everybody's saying looks good, sounds good, awesome. All right, so we're going to be covering this for you. We're going to be covering federal level and state level. As I mentioned, I see a lot more people hopping on. In case you missed it, all the stimulus checks on a federal level, what's going to be going on as lawmakers are not giving up on certain stimulus provisions, and also state levels. We have several of them announcing surplus funds and stimulus on the way. And these are ones we have not heard of in a while. So I've got some new ones for you. And do me a favor before we dive right in. I see we've got about 325 people live with me before I head out the door to church. Smash the like button for me, you guys. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to stay up to date. And yes, the kids are going to be uploading more videos on their channel. If you got little ones, check out the Liam and Naya channel. Very proud of them. They are doing great. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I see those like buttons going up, you guys. But let's cover for you some updates, headlines coming out just this week on announcements on new stimulus. So first off, as you guys know, I reported to you earlier this week, Democratic lawmakers are not giving up on stimulus checks. We actually just this week saw more pushes for stimulus provisions. We are hearing about the child tax credits. Now, a lot of people want to know about fourth federal level $2,000 checks. I'm going to be covering that for you here in just a second, but we're hearing a big push for child tax credits by year's end. Now, is that going to come to fruition? We will see. We've been promised so many things by congressional lawmakers on a federal level. They have not come through. You know what? Whatever unfolds, I will keep you up to date. But we're hearing right now, out of all the stimulus provisions coming to the forefront, is the child tax credits. And as I've let you guys know, speaking of surplus excess funds, right now I am looking at the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. This is linked in the description below so you can check it for yourself. Now, legislative actions, previous stimulus packages on a federal level to everybody in the nation, they had set aside $6 trillion, $30 billion to go out. Now, of that, they have used $5 trillion, $490 billion, which means there still remains roughly a little over $500 billion of excess funds on a federal level for everybody in the nation. And I'm looking at it right now. There is the section for stimulus checks, direct payments. The last one that went out of $1,400 per person, that had a price tag of $406 billion that went out. So $500 billion means they could do more than a $1,400 stimulus check to go out to everybody in the nation. It would not add to debt or inflation, and it would help so many people across the nation, you guys. So we will see. I did a little bit of rhyming right there for you guys. I see a lot of people hopping on saying hi. What's up, guys? And also, like I said, $2,000 stimulus checks. Well, you guys, let's talk about some state level stuff for you. New announcements just coming out. So first off, I want to let you guys know in the state of Georgia, you are up first. Now I've got a couple other states. Georgia, listen to this. These just coming out. Cash assistance to Medicaid, Peach Care for Kids, SNAP and or TAMF recipients. But that's not all. You're going to want to stick around for Georgia. Watch this. Governor Brian P. Kemp recently announced that he had dedicated more than $1 billion to the Department of Human Services to provide cash assistance of up to $350 for active enrollees of Medicaid, Peach Care for Kids, SNAP, and or TAMF. Georgians who are enrolled in more than one of these programs will only receive one cash assistance payment of $350. Now, since the cash assistance program has launched September 20th, more than $1 billion has been sent out. 3 million Georgians have received this money. 768 million have claimed it, and there's 658 million that has been spent. So that is going out in Georgia. Now, also, as I mentioned, that's not all, though. Also, Governor Kemp promises Georgians more help dealing with inflation next year. So, you guys, this is going to be coming on the way. So they have not officially announced any provision specifically, but just coming out in the headlines in the past couple of days, they're saying there's so much surplus funds, more is going to be on the way. Now, scrolling down just very quickly for you guys, Governor Brian Kemp told state lawmakers on Tuesday of this week that he wanted to go beyond the tax cuts he's already proposed to help Georgians deal with inflation. Uh-oh. Yes? What's up, buddy? Can I help you with something? Okay, you tell Naya that it's your turn to play Animal Cross. Get ready. We're going to head out to church in just a second, okay? We're live. My kids playing Animal Cross while Dad is live. Let me get back to it. Sorry, you guys. Excuse the interruption. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp told state lawmakers on Tuesday of this week that he wants to go beyond the tax cuts that he's already proposed to help Georgians deal with inflation. Now, in his first post-election address to lawmakers a month before the General Assembly convenes for the 2023 session, Kemp touted his plan to refund about $2 billion of last year's state surplus to taxpayers. So $2 billion, an idea that he touted on the campaign trail this fall. He also noted that he has, on a monthly basis, suspended the state gas tax to cut fuel prices. But he said Georgians are still dealing with record high prices for goods and services. Now, he said this past week, I consulted with both the Senate and the House leadership on how we will address this issue in the coming session to provide further relief. Though gas prices are thankfully trending down for the moment, we're taking nothing for granted. Now, in the coming days, listen to this. Following my discussions with legislative leaders, we will publicly announce our plan for the coming session on how we can best provide inflation relief to hardworking Georgians. So you guys, in Georgia, more is on the way, okay? So if you are in the state of Georgia, those of you guys who've been asking me about Georgia, Atlanta, what's going to be happening on a state level, they have so much excess funds, literally billions of dollars. They're going to be talking about some ways they're going to be sending it back to help out the people of Georgia. All right, you guys. Now, up next, here we have big surplus prompts lots of spending tax cut ideas that are going to be coming here. And let's go ahead and see, scrolling down, a bonanza of budget ideas was booming at the Minnesota Capitol after word of a massive $17.6 billion surplus came from the state finance officials. So up next is those of you in Minnesota. Many of the ideas came from a person who will have the final say over how the money is going to be spent, and that is Governor Tim Walz, who was downright giddy as he reflected on the astounding surplus estimated Tuesday. Now listen, watch for these stimulus checks, you guys. Oh, by the way, and the Vikings are 10-2. Look at that, he said. Pretty good day and no strike. So good work. And the strike he referred to was the hospitals and union nurses. Now, the governor's victory lap might be understandable, given the past few months were filled with campaign critiques of his stewardship of the state, including its finances. Now, he's on the doorstep of a second term, and he has lots of money to work with and can count on newly empowered DFL allies in the House and in the Senate. Voters, he said, want results. So I think there should be some relatively high expectations. That is an effective legislative session that addresses the issues most important to them, but also has a vision around addressing the big issues like climate change and healthcare. There is no shortage of plans on this governor's to-do list. He said, I am excited. Now is the time to lower the costs for families. Now is the time to reduce and get some money back in the pockets of the people. Now is the time to make sure that those classrooms are funded with the things that they need to do to make our kids the best qualified workforce in the world. Waltz is also discussing tax rebate checks of up to $2,000 per family. So, households, $2,000 stimulus checks. Minnesota, watch out. They might be coming here very soon. Also, child tax credits through the state, Social Security tax exemptions, and property tax buy downs. There is a laundry list of stimulus provisions that could be coming for Minnesota. So if you're watching this and you're in the state of Minnesota, this just coming out just the past couple days, there could be a slew of stimulus coming your way. And as I mentioned, Georgia as well. But we're not done. I've got a few more to cover for you guys. Now, the surplus will enable much of it. It's based on stronger than expected tax collections and lower than anticipated costs. So that is going on in Minnesota. I hope those of you that are watching that are from Minnesota are excited to hear about that, you guys. Also, up next, we have Virginia. Virginia will enter the next session with a money surplus. This one actually just came out 2 days ago. It says Virginia lawmakers will enter their next regular session in January as the state continues with record high budget surpluses. The Commonwealth finished the last fiscal year with a surplus of nearly $2 billion, and the state revenue collections continue to exceed expectations. Some economists are warning against using the excess money to increase spending, though, during this legislative session. So Virginia, though, I want to make sure that you guys understand what's going on. Georgia and Minnesota are like spend it, send it out, more stimulus on the way. Virginia, though, they're being a little bit more cautious about how they're going to be using these funds. Now, whatever they decide, I'll keep you up to date. But it says, Virginia, should it be looking to spend its budget surplus, said Adrian Moore, an economist and vice president of the Free Market Reason Foundation. He said, with today's economic uncertainty and the state's public pensions and other debts, Virginia should either put the money surplus into a rainy day fund, pay down some of its unfunded pension liabilities, or even consider modest tax refunds to taxpayers struggling with inflation. So there might be some inflation relief. We will see. Chris Edwards, an economist at the Free Market Cato Institute, told the Center Square that the state should look towards cutting taxes with the surplus money. So we have somebody else vocalizing, no, we should do some sort of tax cuts, refunds, rebates, and help out taxpayers. But let me know your thoughts, you guys. Whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. Now, as I mentioned, on a federal level. So those are some state updates for you guys of surplus funds. We mentioned one of them outright saying $2,000 checks. Now on a federal level, we will see. I will keep you guys up to date at this time out of $2,000 stimulus checks, child tax credits, Social Security increases, free college tuition, free childcare, wiping out the student loan debt, all of the promises. The number one on the table right now, as I mentioned, is child tax credits. We will likely be hearing a whole lot more about this, and I will keep you guys up to date here on the channel. But that is the latest. Wanted to share with you guys some of the good news coming out on massive surpluses of funds. And as I mentioned, there is an excess of $500 billion of extra funds on a federal level to everybody in the nation, which would be enough to send out a federal level $2,000 stimulus check. But with that being said, you guys, today it is 10:30. I've got 30 minutes to get to church, so I got to run out the door. Don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe if this is your first time here. Check out my kids' channel, Liam and Naya. I see a lot of people asking about other states. You guys asking about New York, Texas, Massachusetts. As the information rolls out, I'll be sure to report it on the channel for you guys. I'll keep you up to date. All of these, as you know, I cite them in the description down below. I link them so that way you know that it's not made up. It's the actual news coming out, so you can go to the description, click the links, read them for yourself. And also, I've got a comprehensive list of every single stimulus check in the nation on every level at www.reliefroadmap.com. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.